Each wall has a story, and from the very first wall, it was apparent that it's not only about, painting the mural, but it's about how people came together at each of these mural projects. Everybody contributed something to it. I remember my first trip to the Florida Keys, just an absolutely beautiful place and one of the best places in the world to dive. I would like to paint a mural. I mean, it's a great location. You can see it going north and south, and I considered it the gateway to the Florida Keys. And every car that visited the Keys would drive past the mural. So I contacted the owner of the building, and he was very gracious and said, yes, of course, you can paint one of your ocean murals and paint whatever you want. And I said, well, I would like to paint all the marine life and corals of the Florida Keys and the fish and maybe even some manatees. And so he blessed it right away. And I said, well, I want it protected for 20 years. He said, 30, you can have it for 30. I mean, Mike was that enthusiastic, and I said, if you could light it, people could enjoy the mural, in the evening. And he said yes to everything. And so anyway, I had a chance to recreate kind of the spirit of the Keys mural. Of course, I wanted to do it all original, and instead of painting one wall, I decided I would wrap the mural entirely around the building so that when you came into the Florida Keys from South Florida and Miami, it would be a welcome to the Florida Keys. And as you went around the sides, you would see mangroves and other marine life. And then when you were leaving the Florida Keys on your way back, it would be like, thank you for visiting the Florida Keys, and you would see the manatees that also inhabit the mangroves in some of these waters here in South Florida. So the whole idea of wrapping a three-dimensional, 360-degree mural depicting the beautiful sunset colors and the waters and, of course, the mangrove islands was very appealing. When the art is on a grand scale, you can't ignore a giant public mural. It's in your face and demands attention. And my idea with the walls was to paint 100 walls in 100 cities. I could virtually reach out to 1 billion people a year with the message of conservation through public art. So I set out to begin painting this mural, invited my friend Guy Harvey, the great marine artist who does fish. And Guy and I had done a few collaboration murals, one in Homosassa, one down in Marathon in Florida, and decided that this would be a very cool mural, our 95th of my 100. So Guy added some really nice looking sharks and some other fish, a big tarpon. Did a great job, and in collaboration, we both kind of elevate. We should be competitors, but we're great friends. And of course, his charity work for conservation of billfish and marine life is equal to mine. We both have passion, and the crowds were enormous. They wanted to see me and Guy Harvey have kind of a battle of the marine life artists, but it wasn't like that. We're just tremendous friends. We had a beautiful ceremony where we invited all the schools in the Keys and South Florida to paint their own murals, and it's there that I met this young artist named Guy. I mean, he couldn't be called Wyland. His name was Guy, and he was about 7 or 8 years old, this blonde-haired kid. And I asked the school that came out, I said, who's the best artist in the school? And everybody pointed at Guy and said, Guy, Guy, and they started cheering him. And it reminded me of me when I was a kid.